evening and welcome to this edition of Newsletter on 6. Today is Tuesday, October the 30th, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, state unemployment numbers continue to be good news. We'll meet the newest Tullahoma honorary alderman. Candidates for the state representative from the 47th District talk about their agenda should they be elected. We'll hear more from Rebecca French, Executive Director of the Manchester Coffee County Convention Center, and we'll talk with the President of Montlow State Community College. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
I'm Mike Winton, your candidate for state representative. I'm not a politician. I'm your neighbor. I grew up on a farm in Pelham. I don't have lofty goals for some type of title. I just see ways that I can help. Tell me how we can work together to make our community better. I'm not concerned whether we're red or blue. I want us to be red, white, and blue. Vote Mike Winton, state representative, on November the 6th. I'm just one of us for all of us.
Paid for by the candidate.
Welcome back. Newly released unemployment data from the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development showed that the vast majority of Tennessee's 95 counties experienced lower unemployment rates in September 2018 when compared to the previous month. Rates decreased in 70 counties across Tennessee, remained the same in 15, and 10 counties experienced a slight increase in unemployment. Once again, Williamson County recorded the state's lowest unemployment rate at 2.7%, which represented a 1/10 of a percentage point decrease from the previous month. With a rate of 2.9%, Davidson and Rutherford County had the second lowest rates in Tennessee. The Rutherford County rate was 0.2 of a percentage point lower than it was in August, while Davidson County experienced a 1/10 of a percentage point drop.
Lauderdale County had the state's highest unemployment rate last month at 6.5%, but that figure still marked a 0.2 percent point decrease when compared to the previous month. It was a similar situation from Bledsoe County, which had the second highest rate. In August, the county had an unemployment rate of 6.2%, but it dropped to 5.9% in September. Only 16 out of Tennessee's 95 counties had an unemployment rate above 5% last month. In the immediate area, Tullahoma had an unemployment rate of 3.7%. Franklin County's rate was at 3.6%. Bedford County reported a rate of 4.0%, and Moore County has the area's lowest rate at 3.3%.
Tullahoma High School senior Matthew Ross is the most recent Tullahoma honorary alderman. Let's watch as Mayor Curley introduces Matthew to the board.
All right, you see we have a new honorary alderman this evening. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Matthew Ross. He's quite an accomplished young man, and pleased that you're with us tonight. Just look at Matthew is a senior. Tullahoma High School has a GPA of 3.75. Perhaps some of you have seen him at the country club where he works in the concession stand, from my understanding. And he also helps work on the farm that his family owns just right outside of Tullahoma. He's very active in football and basketball and DECA, Spanish club. He's also got a 3.75 GPA, which is quite impressive. Some things that he's earned just recently. He's earned the Eli Grow Award. We all know about that recognition. He's all-region football for the past 2 years. He's placed second place in the regional DECA, or is that state competition?
That's regional.
Regional,
yes,
okay. And he has a lot of interest in finance, turns out. He's earned the Finance Award because he had the highest GPA in finance this past year. So he was most recently the homecoming king at Thelma High School. So he has, well, tell us a little bit about your plans after graduation.
Well, I plan to join the Air Force, hopefully get into an ROTC program at some college. I was going to go to the Air Force Academy, but those plans didn't work out, so I'm looking to get in the ROTC program and hopefully major in nursing or pre-med, and then hopefully go to medical school. And the reason I say nursing is because there's a lot of opportunities after nursing school that you can go to if you don't make it into medical school, or you're just a nurse already, so I think that's a good thing. And both my parents are in the medical field, so I think that's just my best shot at doing something good in life. And as you might know, our football team, we're 8-1, and we play in the region championship up in Nashville this week. And so any of you that want to come, it'd be great to see you there, because it's going to be a good ball game. And
you guarantee it?
I guarantee it. It'll be a great
So
game.
what positions do you play?
I play tight end and wide receiver on offense, and then defensive end on defense. A little bit outside linebacker.
What was the game we played in Nashville?
It will be played at Maplewood High School, just a little bit past Nissan Stadium, if you're on the interstate. Yes,
So,
sir.
Both of those teams are 8-1, so it'll be a good game.
Yes, it will.
But our kids have really excelled this year.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Ross shared with me something just a few minutes ago, that he works really hard to encourage all those folks around him at the high school, and shared with me a little bit about why he does that, and I'm certainly proud of him for that. That's a great attribute, to always be an encourager. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's something I have written outside my door, on the right side of my door, so I have to look at it every day before I go out. And I'm like, just says, be nice to people every day, and kind of take that to heart, and just try to make sure I make a positive impact on everybody around me.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. In our next segment of Tom Corrington's interview with the candidates for state representative from the 47th District, Rush Bricken and Mike Winton talk about their priorities if they're elected.
Talking today, folks, with our 2 candidates for the 47th District Tennessee House spot. They are Rush Bricken, the Republican candidate, and Mike Winton, the Democrat. Rush, you're low taxes and small government. How do we take that? Can you expand on a little bit? What do you mean by that?
First of all, Tennessee's Constitution, when our forefathers laid it out, did a great job. Tennessee is the most fiscally sound state in the country. AAA bond rating. Their pension coverage for all the state employees are 100% funded. The state legislature only meets 45 days a year, and I think that's wonderful, because you got to get your business done and get home.
Go home.
So that basic structure is just a great foundation for keeping government small. Government really should be the last resort for almost everything we do in our daily lives. You should be responsible for taking care of your families, not the government. The opportunities should be there for you. So if the government stays out of the way, I certainly believe in the American enterprise, the work ethic of Tennesseans, and that is what has made Tennessee a wonderful state and made our nation great. So it really is keeping government, again, small, keep reducing any unnecessary regulation. Businesses, farmers do not need any more regulations. Farmers and businesses certainly want to put out good products, healthy products, provide those, but they do not, they understand what good regulations are. So we don't need to be looking just to layer more burden on farmers and businesses. So
Mike, let's come to you. You had an interesting comment in some of your material in which you were trying to make sure that everybody had a living wage and good benefits. What do you got in mind there? What role does the government have in those two?
Well, first of all, you know, we need to make sure that we're still continually being physically conservative. You know, our government is based on a budget, a balanced budget every year. We don't have that option to do anything other because that's just in our Constitution. So what we have to do to create better jobs is we have to recruit better jobs. It's not a matter of government creating those jobs, but it's a matter of our state being attractive enough to these industries that we are able to get those companies. You know, I go back to the education, we go back to healthcare, and all these are intricate parts of doing that. But can you imagine being one of those counties that lost your hospital? Do you ever suppose that the company is going to be looking at that as a prime location to put a plant? Certainly not. So we have to be careful about what we do as government to make sure that we're attractive enough. We want to be able to expand our testing at Arnold Air Force Base. We want to be able to ask Bridgestone to expand their job base in McMinnville or Warren County. We want to be sure that Batesville Casket and companies that have really good living wage jobs have our support, and we're looking for other companies like that we recruit back into our area. If we don't have our trained staff of people to be able to do those jobs in our education format, if we don't have the health care available and the facilities to cover those people, we won't get them. And I think that's our responsibility as government.
Okay, you're not suggesting that the government has any direct role in providing a living wage.
We don't need to create the job. We just need to be able to ensure that we recruit the companies that can create the job.
And that we have the atmosphere that
yes.
attracts them.
Yes.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Rush Bricken understands the importance of education.
Rush Bricken knows agriculture and farming is vital to Tennessee.
Rush Bricken believes in a good education and creating job skills.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'll represent your conservative values in Nashville.
40 years in business.
I'm picking Brickin.
20 years on the county commission.
We're picking Brickin.
Vote Rush Brickin November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Welcome back. Tonight we bring you part 3 of John Gray's follow-up interview with Rebecca French, the Executive Director of the Manchester Coffee County Convention Center.
You said something about the new statewide numbers.
Yes.
What were those numbers?
So let me go back to like an investment number first.
Okay.
MTSU put a number on that investment, and it said for every dollar we are given, MCCC, we generate $23 on the dollar. That's my kind of retirement program.
Yeah,
you know?
I wish I had that.
But
401k, that'd be a great 401k,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
I mean, a dollar investment brings back $23. That is great
Yes.
for our future,
Yes.
you know. But the other part of it is the state of Tennessee released their numbers at the governor's conference, and they said that Coffee County taxpayers had $95.7 million in expenditures due to tourism this year. And what that equates to is that there was $384 less paid in taxes for the state and local level by every person in Coffee County.
Yeah.
So $384 savings because
That's
of
a big
the money.
screen TV.
Yeah.
A good big screen TV.
I mean, that's a rec membership, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. So once we get all of this rectified, which we will get this rectified or understood to where everybody is okay with what's happening,
right,
jumps on the bandwagon and says, what do we need to do more?
Right. Well, it comes back to having that vision. We, as a community, need to have a vision and a direction that encompasses, all of our amenities and how to fund them for a long term, not just right now. So, but to continue to grow and continue to increase that number every year, that comes back to our community because of transient dollars. We're going to have to consider options like expanding our building, investing in paving and landscaping to an industry standard that is above what's currently in our community.
Right.
Because we're competitive with Chattanooga, Murfreesboro, Huntsville, Nashville. There's a large difference between one building to the next.
Sure.
And when you're booking conferences or you're booking meetings, we need, our internet is state of the art. Our AV is state of the art. But, when you walk in the doors, our carpet and tile and our ceiling tiles should match the rest of the image that we portray
right.
when we're marketing our building. So having an investment in those aesthetics and understanding that you have to invest that money to keep getting the business, and then understanding that, as our industries are growing in Coffee County, they're outgrowing our building. And I have several letters from industries, from schools, from different organizations that say, if we want to have a better attendance and we want to raise more money every year, or we want to do this or that, we want to appreciate more of our customers or appreciate more of our employees, but in a year or two, we're not going to be able to use your facility to do that. And that means I'm going to have to take my Coffee County business to Murfreesboro, or I'm going to take my Coffee County business to Huntsville because they have the amenities to provide enough hotel rooms on campus and a building big enough for us to celebrate or for us to educate or whatever they're doing with their organization. And that was a real fact a year ago. I started getting these letters a year ago saying, are you guys having any plans to expand? What's going on? We read the paper, but we need to know what's really happening.
Right.
So
right. Behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. So as a community, we're going to have to decide if we want to keep our building the same that it is, or if we're going to let that grow another 8,000 square feet so we can service 1,000 people, and that also grows with all of the organizations that are growing in our community. Because Coffee County is growing. That's proven in all the numbers from the state too. And we need to listen to those numbers. Those numbers are created for a reason, and we're supposed to bring those numbers back into our community and do actionable items on them. It's not just a report that says, hey, the work is over and we no longer have to try. We want to continue. We want to be 20 next year, 19. I want to be 15, We're never going to be in the top 10 because our community is not large enough. But why we can't go down into the teens? We can. We have the ability to do that, working together with a vision and a long-term plan.
More News Leader is coming up in a moment.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Michael Torrance, president of Montlow State Community College, stopped by our studios recently. Let's watch and listen to some of his comments.
We're visiting today, folks, with Dr. Michael Torrance, who is the new president of Montlow, and we've had a chance to meet him, and now we want to talk some about what's happening at Montlow.
Yes.
Dr. Torrance, I would imagine you've got one or two or three or four things you'd like to be sure and accomplish during your tour here. Run over them briefly for us.
Well, we have the good fortune of being associated with the Achieving the Dream Network. It's a consortium of about 250 institutions, community colleges specifically across the United States, that's focused on student success. So student success is definitely one of those metrics. Additionally, increasing and expanding our infrastructure in the areas of IT and data. And the reason that data is important and that infrastructure is important, to be able to tell your story, to share your story, internally and externally. It's very, very important that you can pull your own information and that it's as close to real time as possible. And you need the personnel who can help you do that. And we do have the cadre of folks at Montlow currently that can do those tasks. But I know that we probably need to look at how do we provide them with additional support in both of those areas. Workforce development, of course, that is very, very important.
Workforce development, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We get a lot of squawk these days out of industry that says we're not giving them qualified students.
Right. So I retort right back to them and talk about the importance of, we know that we're providing them with skilled and upskilled for those who are coming back to us who are underskilled, being adult, so returning back to school. So we upskill those adults and we skill the high school students that come to us. So they're prepared with skill. Oftentimes we continue to hear about soft skills, shaking a hand, looking a person in the eye, and the comportment that is necessary to be successful in the 21st century economy. So we're moving towards and making sure we're not just having conversations about how do we make a student work ready. We're getting them job ready, but we make them work ready so they can go in and be competent and poised to do the work that they need to do.
Come to work on time.
Exactly.
Stay for the day.
Stay for the full day.
And work while you're there.
And work while you're there. So the other part of that, so we're making them work ready. We also need to talk about making them life ready. And I think that life readiness ties into those soft skills. So the first year experience program that we have at Montlow State addresses quite a bit of the information that students need to know, as well as the skills that they need to develop. In middle schools and high schools, I think they're doing what they call great shakes, where business and industry members come in and shake their hands and talk to them about resume building, time management. I don't know if anyone writes checks anymore. I still do, but most of them are swiping cards, but financial literacy. So having conversations with students about that, as well as the returning adults, so the promise students and the reconnectors. We're doing those things to offset the commentary from business and industry that they're not prepared to be in their spaces. I heard a funny joke, and it depends on how the lens you look at this. Someone said to me the other day that if they could have a person come in that wore shoes and had their pants pulled up and spoke in complete sentences, they'd make them a manager. Now, I know that was really, some people may find that off color or whatnot, but it was really speaking to the fact that there is opportunity for young people and those returning adults who want to go to work. We're just going to assist them and make sure that they're ready to get back and do that work well.
Their appearance and conduct is very key.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
To their success, yeah.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Tony Castellano, who will come by and play some music for us. Carla Bloom will stop by to remind us about the Sportsman and Businessman's charitable event this weekend. And Grammy Award-winning bluegrass artist Becky Bueller will tell us about a concert featuring the Fairfield Four coming to our area. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on the state. Our record high was in 1937 at 84 degrees. The record low was in 1952 at 19 degrees. The average high on the state is 69 and the average low is 44. Partly cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of around 61. And a 30% chance of rain in the forecast for Halloween on Wednesday with a high of 75 and a low of 62. That rain continues into the forecast for Thursday with a high of 64 and a low of 43. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
And we wish everyone out there a happy and safe Halloween. Good evening.